All right. Must-have skills, number 16. No, that must-have skill is not shooting a North American Arms 22 mag. What it is learning how to decide what gun is best for you. Not to just be a shooter, but to be a protector. So we get a question a lot. Mick, how do I know if that gun fits me? Or I don't like how it looks. I don't care. The first question you should ask yourself is this. Why do I have this gun? I'm not going to talk about competition shooting or strict marksmanship bullseye shooting. I want to talk about having a gun, a tool, a weapon to protect yourself, your community, your partners, your family from violence. In that, your decision should be based on what gives me the best probability of success. So, a couple things you need to ask yourself right out of the gate. Once you've decided that that's why you're buying the gun, is does the gun fit my hand? And by fit, this is what often happens. You hand a gun to somebody that doesn't shoot and you go, how does it feel? And they go, it feels good, right? It feels good. Well, if I'm not a shooter, if I haven't trained, I don't know how it feels. I'm not trying to make it feel good like soft suede or down feathers or angel's breath. I want it to feel a certain way in the sense of I can function the controls, right? Totally stock Glock 19X here. The only thing that's upgraded on this gun is a set of sights from Ameriglow. So here's what I ask folks when I hand them a gun. I show them what a full firing grip looks like. So master grip, high, tight, all that good stuff. I show them what that grip looks like and I say, okay, see if you can lock the slide to the rear. And if they don't know anything about it, I explain to them how that works and I tell them lock that slide back. And you'll be surprised how many people find that as a strange movement. You're moving your thumb up against that slide lock lever. And now I say, push that slide lock lever down. And and they finally get it. Now there's aftermarket parts like Tango Down, Vickers slide stop lever is a great addition for something like that. But can they do it? Okay, got that. Can you work the mag release? Yep. Can you work the mag release with your other hand? Yep. Now, get your finger on the trigger and let's see how that works. Can you get a good, deep trigger finger? And that's important because this dimension from here to here, you can't change that, right? I mean, yes, you can shave the gun down some, and we'll get to that in a second, but that part, if you are a little lady or somebody with smaller hands for a guy, people go out and they say, okay, you're small as such, I'm going to get you a small gun like this little micro P365, which I love, which I put thousands and thousands of rounds and hundreds of hours in, but it's been at a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice of shootability, of speed, but there's a trade-off there as well. Concealability, ease of carry, lightweight, all that good stuff. But I wouldn't give this gun to somebody that's brand new. The little tiny slide lock lever, the little tiny slide. Let's talk about physics for a minute. This little 9mm, 115 grain Super Vel solid copper hollow point, ching, little plug. There's a very specific amount, of potential energy contained in this round. If I chamber that round in this P365 or this full-size Langdon Beretta, which is one of my favorite guns, the same amount of potential energy is released. I'm not talking about the ultimate velocity of that round because there might be a slight velocity difference in the round. I'm talking about the energy released making that slide reciprocate. This slide is far lighter than this slide. As such, there is much less mass in this slide to absorb and take up that energy. As such, the spring in this gun has to be significantly stronger than it may need to be in a gun like this to control that energy. So a little gun's gonna be snappier. A little gun's also gonna be harder to grab onto and yank. So if you're a young 20-something, 30-something year old person and you're like, this is stupid, if you can't work the slide, you shouldn't have a gun, shame on you. Don't you have a mother, a grandmother, a grandfather, an old aunt, an old uncle? Do you know somebody that's ever had a hand injury, carpal tunnel, get their hand crushed, arthritis, etc.? So you have to figure out and think about, can I safely and confidently manipulate that gun? Can I work the slide lock lever? It's not a slide release. until it is. Can I work the mag release? With this gun, I know I have to break my master grip. That is not a great thing to have to do, to break your master grip, because it's easy to drop a gun. It's easy to have a gun knocked away from you. It's easy to fumble. I've dropped the gun in a match before. Ask my friends, they'll tell you the story. It's funny, but not funny. You should have to, or should be able to, do all of these things. If you can't, and you're a newer shooter, that gun is probably not for you or for your loved one. So I'm also doing this video to help you if you're helping somebody else. So here's the end goal. When you pick up a gun to purchase or to carry or train with, you should be able to ask yourself, at the end of the day, if I have to protect my life, my family's, my loved one, my community, my partners, am I going to be able to run this gun and make it do what it needs to do? My job as a shooter, your job as a shooter, in the context of running the gun, is twofold. Point it at what needs a hole in it, threefold. Pull the trigger at the correct time when that gun is pointed at whatever needs a hole in it, and then keep it working. Keep it fed. If it goes out of battery, get it back into battery. If for some reason there is some type of feeding issue, clear it and keep it working. That's all your job is. Safety goes without saying. You need to do all of that safely. So ask yourself, can I develop a level of skill with this tool that I can do all of those things in a terrible moment of violence, in a situation where I might be fighting for my life, in a time where I might have diminished light, where I might be scared, where I might be bloody, where I might be hurt, where my family might be scared, where my family might be bloody, where my family might be hurt. Now, you see, when we go out and we buy something like this awesome J-frame, we get a sense of security. But can you use this gun to do the thing that you're actually asking of it? Can you use it to get the result that you desire? So, why did you buy it? Can you function everything on it correctly and properly? Understand the trade-off of capacity versus concealability, right? They both have pros and cons, but at the end of the day, your overlying goal should be what's important. Why do I have it with me? Mick, I'm not going to carry a full-size Beretta. That's fine. That's why God made guns like these new little SIGs. I got 13 rounds on board. Not the same, but it's also not 5 rounds. And yes, I know God didn't make guns. It's a joke. Don't be a weirdo. There are plenty of options out there. Walther PPQ, amazing gun. Glock 19, amazing gun. Oh, what? A Glock 45, which is basically a 19 with a 19X frame. One of my favorite guns right here, because I just love the Glock. This is a beautiful 26 from Boresight Solutions. That's 13 rounds on board. Some people, you know, are addicted to a certain brand or the continuity of the platform. This gun, I can put a 17 mag in it, or I could carry a 17 mag as a backup and carry it like this. Amazing gun that Ben's done up with Apex and Tango down parts. The point isn't buy it because it looks a certain way. The point isn't buy it because I said so. My hands don't have to work it. Yours do. Your wife, your daughter, your girlfriend, your aunt, your boyfriend, your lover, whoever, their hands have to work it. Their hands have to be able to keep that thing functioning. Their hands have to be able to press the gun out in violence and put rounds into a person that's trying to hurt them. Sad, sick, maybe, but true. And if you're not thinking about that and you're thinking about how a thing looks or how it feels, you're up shit's creek already and you've planned to fail. Must-have skills number 16 is not about how to buy a gun. It's how to tell yourself why you really have it and make sure that your hands interface with the gun that you choose to carry, and then you tell yourself you're going to train with that thing until it's subconscious, until nobody can take it away from you, until, if God forbid you ever need to, you draw it with haste and you put rounds where they need to be. Mickey with CarryTrainer.com. I encourage you not to be a dickhead today, because really nobody frickin' likes a dickhead. Not even another dickhead. Another dickhead hates a dickhead because then he realizes dickheads are dickheads. So cut it out. Be good. Love you.
Yes. At the target level.
What the f*** is wrong with him?
steps. No, come on, we're moving down this way. Gotta move, gotta move.